Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Tuesday, September 7th. So the moon is still in Virgo and will be going void, of course, around 4:25 p.m., again Atlantic Standard Time, and will be transiting, making its way into Libran energy. However, it won't lock into Libra until about 12:21 a.m. early Wednesday morning. So for the bulk of the day, we're still in Virgo energy. And once the moon goes void, of course, things are going to get a little bit shaky until it locks into Libran energy. So here we are the day after the new moon, and you best believe that you are going to feel hung over. This is what I call a lunar hangover, and it definitely sounds as painful and as uncomfortable as what a normal hangover would be. We are definitely feeling weighted, definitely feeling like we got put through the ringer. We definitely have been emotionally and mentally. We are feeling definitely hypersensitive to signs, validation points. We just want to block that out. We don't even want to think about reassurance from the universe right now. We are hypersensitive, responding to light, to smells, to basically sounds. Again, just think about what it's like to have a hangover. That is absolutely what it is that we're experiencing, because our sensory system has been overloaded with light codes coming in from the new moon energy. There are 7 different aspects taking place today. A little bit quiet, thank goodness, on the whole cosmic weather front. We are in a situation, as far as manifesting goes, that we still need to kind of retreat. We still need to just kind of sit, recharge, rejuvenate. We have to rest. We have to realign before we're given permission to begin again. So the moon opposes Neptune. Now this is an energy that we should be quite familiar with at this point, because the moon event has been sitting across from Neptune. And of course, the whole Virgo season has been sitting across from Neptune for the last couple of weeks. This is going to totally suck the life out of us. We are highly emotional, highly sensitive. Our intuition is pretty much so strong that we can't even really make sense of it at this point. And for the most part, we just don't want to take part in life right now. We've had a lot of really just horrible thoughts and horrible emotions rise up and then be counteracted with positive forces, and the whole seesaw, teeter-totter, just has been exhausting. So we likely are going to want to pick tasks and chores that are kind of low key for the day. We're definitely not wanting to make any decisions or put forth any kind of extra effort. We just want to get through the day. Now, Saturn does come into play here, the Lord of Karma, as you know, and he is going to bring a little bit of a negative narrative. When you're feeling down, when you're feeling sick, when you're feeling hungover, we're not in the best mindset. We're not in the best narrative. Everything seems to be poor me. And with this Neptune energy being so very intense, that is the victim story. We do slide into poor me. We do slide into the negative Nancy narrative. We tend to be a little bit low, slow, and a little bit sad. The moon is trying to help us out here by trining with Pluto. Again, recognizing all of the ups and downs that we've had over the last couple of days, all the illuminations, the realizations that we've had by analyzing our thoughts, our emotions, our patterns, our behaviors. We do have an opportunity to recognize where it is that, you know what? It might not feel like it right now, but we absolutely bossed up. We sat in the pain. We sat in the darkness. We sat in the fear. We sat in the negative. And we were able to see the light. And we even took steps to stand in the light, to get closer to the light. Now, let me just remind you that it's no easy task. And if you don't feel at all that you made any kind of growth, evolution, or progress, don't beat yourself up. There's more going on in your unconscious energetic body than what it is that you're actually aware of. And so, yes, we're feeling low. Yes, we're feeling a little bit semi-depressed, but there has been a huge energetic transformation that has taken place with or without your awareness. The moon goes ahead and bumps into Jupiter. And Jupiter, of course, wants to push us outside of our comfort zone, outside of our boundaries, in order to see where growth and evolution is needed, where it is that new opportunities await us if we just got out of our own way. This is really going to remind us of the vision, of the dream that we've been working so hard, pushing so hard to actually see manifest. This is going to remind us that we want more in life. We want to feel better. We want to think better. We want to do better. We want to be better. We want to be with the right people, doing the right things. We want more for ourselves. But because we're illuminated to all the quote unquote more that we want, and because we're not in the best mindset or the best emotions, we can come a little bit whiny with this particular energy. Why? Because it's like, oh, I want to be better. I don't want to be sad. I want to be in love. I want better finances. I want that job. I want that house, right? We're whining. There's not a whole lot of power that comes with whining. It's a lower vibrational frequency. But you know what? It is the day. We're just lucky to get through the day without having a mental breakdown or an emotional breakdown. So you know what? If you have to lean all the way into whining about all the quote unquote more that you want for yourself or your future, then do it. Just recognize that you're given a day to sit in this funk, because tomorrow you're going to have to boss up. You're going to have to turn that whininess into a source of aggression, passion, and desire. The moon goes ahead and meets up with, sits next to Mars, who is also in Virgo, in the later degrees of Virgo at this particular time, as he is really looking to wrap his time up in Virgo before moving on into Libra, which will take place next week. So the moon and Mars together is providing us an opportunity to act out. And I'm going to advise that you don't act out with moodiness or frustration or anger or irritability. The only way that I suggest that you act on your emotions at this point, and again, reminder, we're low energy, we're low thinking, we're low feeling. The only way that I recommend acting out and using this Mars energy to your advantage is if you are using your frustration of being whiny, your frustration of being stuck, your frustration of succumbing to the dark energy forces in your thoughts and in your heart space, and use that as a catalyst to boss up. So we do have an opportunity here, because we're withdrawn, to kind of sit in the poor me situation. If you're able to overcome these darker energy forces and boss up, let Mars be the fuel underneath your butt to light that fire and push you in a brand new direction, making sure that you're not setting up camp in the poor me compound. The moon goes ahead and bumps into Venus, who is in Libra, and this likely will create a situation where, because we're feeling down, because we're really struggling, because we're low on energy, where any kind of outside influence, outside trigger is enough to set us off. Likely being found in your personal relationships. And this, honestly, we are at the point at this particular energy time where even if somebody says something to us that isn't rude, isn't particularly angry or directed in a confrontational way, if they don't say it right and they leave room for us to question what it is that they meant by that, that could be enough to set us off. That is how intense this energy is. Our minds are exhausted. Our hearts are exhausted. Our physical bodies are exhausted. And when you're hungover and when you're kind of laying on the couch just trying to get through the day, anything that is asking more of you than what it is that you're able to give at that particular point in mental energy, in emotional energy, and especially in physical energy is going to set you off. It will be the straw that broke the camel's back. So throw caution to you later on in the day when this particular energy starts acting up. We do have a lot of energy really trying to keep our vibration and frequency low. And we end off the day with the moon, who is now unstable, who has been, really frustrated. As the moon is transiting to this Libran energy, we're losing space, we're losing time, we're losing fuel, we're losing fire, we're losing patience. And the moon bumps into Uranus. And normally Uranus is the great observer, the great awakener that shocks us with a moment of aha-ness that just changes the game, that breaks us free from the funk. But at this particular point in the day, it's just adding to the chaos. It's adding to the uncertainty. It's adding to what could be an explosive reaction to an outside trigger if we're not disciplined enough to keep a grip and just go to bed. But basically, it's creating more distance in our lives. We are just so overwhelmed that we're detaching, we're disconnecting. We need to create space between us and those that are potentially in a position to set us off. We have to remember that, yes, you're listening to this forecast. Yes, you have the upper hand by having a heads up in this. There are the majority of people walking around on the earth right now that have no idea that this is happening to them. They do not have an awareness. They do not have a heads up. That's why I appreciate if you like, share, comment, and, follow, because that helps people understand that whether they understand what's going on in the energy or not, that they have a heads up. And having a heads up puts you in a position of power, because when you're in this day and you're running through it and all of a sudden somebody says something to you that could potentially put you off, hopefully something will spark in your brain and you will hear my voice come into your head and say, we talked about this in the energy forecast. Here's your choice. Here's your options. What are you going to choose? So the moon bumping into Uranus is literally going to put more pressure on all the confusion, all the disconnect, all the coldness, all the irritable and moodiness that we've been feeling throughout the day. It's going to really put an extreme pressure on that. And you know what? At this particular point, it's okay to go to bed early and just get the day over with.